Hey everyone! Holy moly, I am bright. Hopefully you can hear me. Alright, holy moly, I'm very bright. Okay, anyway. So, don't mind the fact that my fan just got... Okay. Okay, anyway, so this week, I'm doing this a little early because normally I do it way late after Hannah goes to sleep and a lot of people can't hop on then, and I totally get it. So I'm trying to do it earlier when she's napping. So I'm still gonna try to be quiet. But if you don't know, every single Monday I try to come on here and try to share something that I am going through in my goal journey that I think will help you and something that is helping me. And please keep in mind that when I'm doing these, I'm trying to be as honest and candid as possible. And so sometimes you may not like what I have to say, but it's just the truth, okay? And I'm speaking to myself while I'm speaking to you guys. And I like to do these because I believe no matter what you think about yourself, I believe you can have and be and do anything in your life. And we are in this together, whether we like it or not. So why not share what we're going through with each other and just push each other to be better every day? So anyway, today, in the past few days, I've been thinking, what am I going to talk about this week? I need inspiration. And I realized something that was just crazy. It blew my mind. So no matter what your goal is, there are a ton of little steps that you need to take to reach that goal every single day, right? And the biggest thing in reaching your goal is consistency. But sometimes having that consistency seems impossible. So I was thinking, how can I be more consistent? Like, how can I motivate myself to be more consistent so that I reach my goals? I need to stop giving up. I need to stop working super hard on Monday and then not try it all on Tuesday. And then work kind of hard on, you know what I'm saying. You work hard and then you give up and then you take a break and you give yourself a break and whatever you earned, or whatever. We go and then we stop and then we go and then we stop. And we are not consistent. And I was like, God, it's so easy to get discouraged. It's so easy to give yourself an excuse not to keep going. And I realized something. When you have an end goal, and all of these epiphanies are so obvious, but we tend to forget them because it's like they're almost too obvious, so we just let them float away. But when you have an end goal and it's very clear, all those little things that you're doing along the way don't seem as bad as long as you just know your end goal. Okay, so for example, I'm going to give something simple because I know all of our goals are so different. So for example, let's say you play a video game, okay? A lot of us, I don't, but a lot of us play video games and you have an end goal. You want to beat the game or you want to beat your opponent. It depends on what kind of game you're playing. So if you think about it, you know your end goal is to beat the game. You know no matter what, that's your end goal, and you know that it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort to do that, right? And you're going to be frustrated as heck along the way, but you're going to show up every day and keep doing it because you enjoy doing it, and you know eventually you'll get there. Okay, so that's the key. You know in your mind, no matter what, when you're trying to, again, this is just an example, when you're trying to beat a video game, you know that if you show up every day and just put in a little bit of effort, you will reach that goal, period. Okay? The same goes for our bigger lifestyle goals, right? So if you want to build a successful business, and I always come back to this because it's what I'm currently working the hardest towards. If you want to build a successful business, you just need your end goal. Because what does a successful business even mean? Like with a video game, it's very clear. You beat the game and you're done. Or you beat your opponent and you're done. Okay? But with a business, it's much harder. So my challenge for you, and this could be a lot of goals, with a weight loss journey, that's harder too. What does that even mean? What is your weight loss journey? Because everyone is so different. Or a health journey in general, or wanting to pay off your debt. Everything is so different, and my challenge for you is just to define down to every little detail what your goal actually is. I'm tired of hearing people say, I'm going to be healthier in 2020. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm going to be successful in my business. Okay, that's great. How will you know when you get there? I mean, I'm going to be financially free and it's going to be fantastic. What does that mean? Because for me, that means something very different than what it means for you. I'm certain, because we are two different people. So my first challenge for you is just to define that. What is your end goal? Because like in the video game example, and I only give that because I know you all, most of you know what that would be like. You know, if you know your end goal, all those little things aren't a big deal. So if you know that you want a successful business and you know what that means, then every day when you show up and you're talking to new people, it'll be worth it, because you'll be like, okay, I'm in a crap mood. My kid is screaming. My coffee didn't taste that great this morning. I have a headache. I had a long weekend, blah, blah, blah. But I know that if I just talk to a few people today, I'm that much closer to my goal. And then the next day will be the same thing. All right, I was in traffic and it's raining and I want to be in my bed. But I know if I just talk to a few people, and I talked to a few people yesterday, I'm 2 steps closer. And then the next day you're 3 steps closer. And the next day you're 4 steps closer. And the next day you're 5. And so on and so on and so on until you reach your goal. Because you showed up consistently. And so I titled this, Are We There Yet? Because you need to know what there looks like for you. Okay? You need to know what your end is. What is your finish line? Because every day, if you know your finish line is, I don't know, if you know your finish line is paying off all of your debt, and that's what financial freedom is to you, then every single day, even if you're just putting $1 towards your debt, you know you might not want to show up that day, but you are 1 step closer, okay? If for you having a successful business means that you're making $5,000 a month, every single day when you're showing up, you know you're getting closer, okay? Because you know your end goal. No matter how frustrated you get along the way, no matter how defeated, no matter how many no's you get, no matter how many haters you have, you will know that's fine. Because I talked to this many new people today and it was awesome and I'm that much closer to my goal. It's fine because I went to that event and I made some awesome contacts and I had a great time. I'm that much closer to my goal. That's fine. You can have the traffic and the flu and the angry kids and the lack of coffee and the mean people, but you showed up and you went live on Facebook and a ton of people watched it and you motivated them. So you're that much closer to your goal. I hope that makes sense. And because I am who I am and I ramble a lot, I want to give another example because I want this to be so clear that it's actually useful. Because if these aren't useful, I'm wasting my time and I'm wasting your time and I'm not about that life. So another example, I like to crochet, okay? And when you start a crocheting project, you know what you're doing. You know you're making a blanket, you're making a scarf, you're making a sock. I don't know. You know what you're making. For me, it's always blankets because that's just easiest and the most useful for me. So I know when I'm going into it and I'm making a blanket, it's going to take a lot of stitches. Okay, it's going to take a lot of stitches along the way. And there are going to be days when I'm not really going to feel like doing it, but I'm going to get just a little bit done because I know if I just got 10 stitches done today, I'm that much closer to finishing my project. Right? And the next day, if I show up and I just do a little bit more, I'm that much closer. And the next day, and eventually I will have this beautiful hand crocheted blanket that I can give as a gift because that's kind of my thing. And all those days that I showed up when I didn't want to will have paid off because I will be done and I had my finish line defined for me. So again, your challenge is to think, what is your finish line? What is your end goal? When I say, are you there yet? What is your there? How will you know when you're done? I want you to really define that and then go a step further and define what you need to do every day, even when you don't want to reach that end goal. Do you need to talk to more people every day? Do you need to get out there and hand out business cards? Do you need to grow your network? Do you need to go live on your Facebook page? Do you need to work on your Instagram account? Do you need to do some self-development? Do you need to get out there and go for a walk or drink more water? What, excuse me, what do you need to do every day, even when you don't feel like it, to get to your end goal? Because I promise if you have a clear plan, you know where you're going and how you're going to get there, even on those days when you don't want to show up, at least, if nothing else, at least you'll know you're one step closer. You are one step closer because you showed up, even for a couple minutes, even to put in just a little bit of effort. You are one step closer to your end goal. Okay? Think of it like going for a walk. Let's say we want to walk a mile. I'm giving another example. If you want to walk a mile, you can't do that by sitting around and thinking about it and hating it. You take one step, and then you take another, and then you take another, and then you take another, and before you know it, you walked a mile. It's the exact same thing with your goals. You need to take a step every single day forward. Stop sitting and complaining that you haven't walked that mile when you're on your butt. When you're thinking of 239 reasons why you don't want to. That makes no sense. Of course, there are going to be days you don't want to do stuff. We're human beings, and that does not mean there's anything wrong with you. It's how you react to it. It's how you let those things affect your entire day. Is that traffic pushing you to work harder once you show up at the office or once you get home and get on your computer? Is that crying child just reminding you why you want to be successful and be home with your baby? Okay? You need to know where you are going and what you need to do every day to get there. And then when you do those things, tell yourself, I'm one step closer. I'm one step closer. I didn't want to do it, but I showed up and now I'm one step closer. All right, I'm going to stop before I keep giving you examples. So if this was helpful, please let me know. If someone needs to hear this, please tag them. Let's get a movement going, guys. Let's get started. It is a new week, new opportunities, new goals, fresh start. Let's do this together. If you need help reaching a goal, I don't care what it is, let me know. If you missed my other Motivational Mondays, check out my YouTube channel, scroll through my page, find all of them, and tag people when they need to be inspired. Inspire them, and I'm doing this to help you do that. All right, have a great week. Thank you for giving me a part of your Monday, and go define your end goal and kick some butt.